Hi, I'm Juliet Chevelle. I'm a working actress in Los Angeles. Welcome to the Chat with Dan show.
Welcome everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. For today, the best way to finish up an epic badass week is to be having a conversation with none other than the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, and the incredible Juliet. Juliet, how are you today?
I'm doing well. It's a Friday. I'm very excited. Hit the gym this morning. I'm feeling pumped up.
There you go. What better way to have an incredible, super badass day and to start an epic weekend than to be chatting with someone as badass as you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Pretty epic. I love it. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot. But also in the description below, you're gonna find all of Juliet's social media. Let's follow her. Let's share some love. Let's find out why she's super badass. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out like super soon. And without further ado, let's jump in. Right. So I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out the very first question, which is, what first pulled you to acting in the first place? Was there a performance, TV show, film, something that made you realize, you know what, this is where I want to start now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really do think that some people are born with it. And I don't mean that they're born with talent. I mean, they're born with an itch or the bug. And for me, that was very much the case. I was like 3 and I had 3 imaginary friends. I had a very vibrant imaginary life happening from a very early age. I was the kid on the block that you just knew if you play with her, you're going to get roped into a game of pretend. My family knew to watch out for it. They exercised a lot of pretend and imagination skills as older adults, which I really appreciate. But it was just kind of in me, and I was homeschooled, and so I'm sure that didn't help. But I was at home a lot. We didn't have a TV. I was reading literature and listening to audiobooks and just literally consuming stories incessantly, consistently, just like food. And so the combination of those 2 things made it that I was constantly living in alternative universes and different worlds and really playing and exploring and pretending. And so that was who I was from literally the beginning. I didn't actually act for a very long time. I didn't know acting was a thing, and when I did and I petitioned my parents, they were absolutely against it. And so I took my L and I became a competitive swimmer, and I was an athlete for a long time, and I was looking at going into medicine, majoring in like nursing or pre-PA. And that was just what it was. But I had a few experiences kind of in late high school or early adulthood that changed my career path. So that was the journey to
Mhm.
getting into acting.
That is pretty amazing. What's something about this whole career that surprised you once you were actually deep inside it?
Hmm. I think what people don't understand about the entertainment space is there really is no set career path. With, let's say, medicine, for example, you know that you have to get good grades, work really hard in school, graduate, go to college, then get your hours in, your volunteer hours, your work hours, take your tests, get your scores. Like there's a whole process to it that is predictable. And you know how to show up each and every day to get where you want to go. For acting or entertainment, there isn't really a metric or a system or a path. It really can be whatever you do or whatever happens. Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's hard work, sometimes it's an overnight success story that really took 10 years, but nobody sees that. It's just so unpredictable. And so for me, the big surprise was, how do I take this industry that's such a has so many variables to it and is so undeterminable, and create a system to show up every day and work hard and put the 1% in so that I can be better tomorrow, next year, in a couple years. And that was really kind of a struggle. It still kind of is sometimes because you don't know where to maneuver. The industry is changing. We've had strikes, we've had COVID, we've had the vertical boom, we've had some AI coming into the picture. So that's an interesting aspect to navigate. And I can't lie, it's still a part of the conversation for me daily, but it's also something you get used to and you learn how to build your own systems and like shape your own narrative and step into that. And that I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful for that experience and learning to do that because it applies to so many other things in life that you just don't know and you're not never going to.
Mm. What's your take on the whole term, as you mentioned before, overnight success?
Mm. I'm not sure there is such a thing. I think that there are people who enter the industry and get very fortunate very quickly. But even with that, you still have to develop a career from quick success. You have to know how to continue to keep the momentum and shape it. You have to have the right connections to do so. It's great if you have a team who's able to walk you through that. So even if you do get a hit very quickly, you still have to kind of figure out how to make that into success. I think most people they've been working a very long time and very, very hard before they actually do catch a break and do get the opportunity to go higher. And so, what the mainstream audiences see as overnight success is really not normally the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. It's so interesting whenever people think that, and I sometimes think that that causes them this wrong idea that if you start in this career and if you don't make it, let's
Mhm,
say in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then you're a failure and you need to switch. Which is like, no, most of this thing takes 10, 15, 20 plus years. We've seen it a lot of times, and that's just the way it is. But maybe because we just see the glam, like all of that, we tend to think that, oh, easy going. You just go
mhm.
do a film, becomes a hit, boom, get an Oscar, and from there, psh, success. You know what I mean?
Totally. I'm really grateful. At the beginning of my career, I read a book by Jenna Fisher. She has an excellent kind of how to become an actor book out there. And one of the things that stuck with me that she said was it takes 10 years to gain momentum and to like get a break in this city. And when you hear that, not knowing anything about the film industry, it sounds crazy. I mean, 10 years is a long time, right? And I remember hearing it and going, "Ah, come on, like, okay, really? Is that gonna be me? I don't know, we'll see." And I'm currently 6 years in, and I'm very grateful that I've got momentum and I've had some hits, already, but it now in hindsight, I'm like, actually, she wasn't super far off. And I've seen a lot of stories that took longer than 10 years. And there's some people who've been really fortunate that have made it very, very quickly. But in general, like it's a really good metric, which is crazy to say because like 10 years, that's a decade. But it's this industry and you have to figure out how to navigate that and show up every day and be prepared for that if that's going to be your story.
And at the same time, what part of this career you still find it a little bit challenging?
Hmm. I think to a certain extent, the unpredictability is still a challenge. I'm someone who loves systems. I love organization. I love a workflow. And this industry is quite literally the antithesis of that sometimes. And it's been an interesting journey learning how to um, quite literally just bring what you have today or tomorrow to the table and not be worried about the big picture or the broad scheme of things or where you're going to be in a year. It's it's been a challenge, but it's also been incredibly rewarding because to a certain extent it makes you live in the present and think about just today, which is incredibly rewarding as a lifestyle if you can do that and do it with joy. So it's still a little bit, it's a little rough, but it's also it's a skill and it's a muscle. And the more I exercise it, the more I'm grateful I have it.
And switching to our next activity called the craft break. Super
Okay.
simple. Gonna give you a line, a quote, or a description from a film with some options, of course, but you have to guess which one is the right one.
Okay.
You ready?
We'll see.
time. Let's do it. So, starting with the first one, it's a quote, right?
Okay.
The quote goes, "I see dead people." Your options are The Others, The Sixth Sense, Signs, or The Ring.
The Sixth Sense.
You sure?
No, but I think it's that.
Should we lock that in?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Then in that case, let me tell you that, yes, it's The Sixth Sense.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Okay. Now, it goes, a film where time itself becomes a villain and a father travels through space while years pass on Earth in the blink of an eye.
Oh, okay. Interstellar.
Are you sure?
As sure as I'm gonna be.
Interstellar it is. Then let me tell you in that case that, yes, it's Interstellar. You got
Okay,
it.
great. Awesome. I know my family would be so mad if I got that one wrong.
Now, another quote coming in. After all this time, always. Your options: The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, The Chronicles of Narnia, or Fantastic Beasts.
Ooh. Okay, here's the thing. I'm pretty familiar with those first. I'm not super familiar with the Harry Potter world, sue me. So I don't recognize that as being Chronicles or Lord of the Rings, and I'm pretty nerdy about those two. So I'm gonna guess Fantastic Beasts.
Are you sure?
No, not at all.
But that's it. That's your final answer?
Yes.
Then in that case, let me just tell you that you're wrong. It's Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
Ah, darn. I had a 50% shot.
I get it here. Now, another one coming in. It's not a quote. So it goes, which film features a famous twist dance contest? Your options: Grease, Saturday Night Fever, Pulp Fiction, or La La Land.
Is it Grease?
You tell me. Should that be the answer?
That's what I'm going with. It's not gonna get better if I keep thinking through it.
Then in that case, let me tell you that you're wrong. It's actually
no.
Pulp Fiction. You know that scene with John Travolta and Uma Thurman when they're dancing?
Here's the thing. I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
Oh, there you go.
So that would do it.
I
I know
get
it's very un-actor film industry of me, and I need to fix that.
No, I get it. So a quote is coming. Easy
Okay.
going. The quote goes, "You shall not pass."
Oh,
Your options: Game of Thrones, Willow, The Lord of the Rings, or The Hobbit.
that's with the Balrog. So that would be. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I mean, it's Gandalf, but is it? It's totally it's the Lord of the Rings, because it's when the Balrog falls and then he dies and he comes back. It's got okay. We're good. Had a moment there.
So, Lord of the Rings, that's the answer?
Yes.
Then in that case, let me tell you that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This was Lord of the Rings.
Because here's the thing, Gandalf disappears in The Hobbit as well, and so I was having this blank where I went, wait, he disappears twice. Wait, which time did he disappear? And I was internally freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, it happens. I've been there too. It happens. Yeah. Now, a description coming in. It goes, a football coach who knows almost nothing about soccer changes lives by simply believing in people. Your options: Friday Night Lights, Welcome to Wrexham, Coach Carter, or Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Then in that case, let me tell you that yes, it is Ted Lasso. Which, by the way, one of the most amazing TV shows I've ever seen in my life. Amazing.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very uplifting.
Yeah, super uplifting. Which, by the way, they're gonna release like another season soon, right? I saw that.
Are they?
Yeah. And now it's focusing on a female soccer team, so should be interesting.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Now, another quote coming in from a film. Classic quote. Super classic. It goes, life is like a box of chocolates. Your options: Big, Castaway, Forrest Gump, or Philadelphia.
Forrest Gump.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Then in that case, let me just tell you that yes, it's Forrest Gump, of course.
Good.
Cool.
I watched that movie for the first time like 6 months ago. So if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have been sweating, but it was recent, so I felt confident.
But it's interesting that those type of films, they're still getting discovered till this day, and suddenly they just become a classic. Like Forrest Gump, Back to the Future, like all of those films. I find it amazing, and that people still finding them till this day, and they still love them, which is great.
Mhm. Yeah, there's something about a story that contains truth that survives the test of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now, this is the last one. For all the marbles, you either win this or lose this. For this, it's a film description. You ready?
Hmm.
It goes. A young woman volunteers to take her sister's place in a deadly televised competition. Your options: Divergent, Maze Runner, Battle Royale, or The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games.
Are you sure? This is for all the marbles.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
No second thoughts.
None.
Then in that case, let me just tell you that yes, you won. It's The Hunger Games for sure.
Let's go.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Those are great questions. That was really fun.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. And going back to the whole conversation, tell me, how do you personally deal with auditions that
Hmm.
don't go anywhere?
Hmm. So my approach to auditioning is maybe a little bit negative for some, but it really works for me. I lead with the expectation that none of the auditions are going to make it. So when I step into an audition, I'm really just trying to enjoy the performance and enjoy the craft and exercise, right? It's like the gym. You step into the gym, you know it might not be your PR, it might not be your best lift, but you're going to go because you have to exercise the muscle. And it's the best if you make the most of it, right? And you really enjoy it because that's why you're doing it. Um, and so that's how I approach it. Whenever I submit an audition, I get rid of the sides, I put the audition in a folder tucked away, and I move on. But it's helpful because a week or 2 later, sometimes I get a surprise email, and it's really exciting because I go, "Oh, that's right, I submitted an audition, great, awesome." And then I have to go find the sides that I threw away, but it's helpful because I'm never really waiting on an audition to get back to me. I'm not, just anxiously sitting and worrying about it. It's just I let it go. And then if it comes back to me, it's meant to be. Or at least the callback was meant to be. But it's helpful in that I don't struggle with the mental health aspect of film that I think some people can. And it's served me well.
And I think that's the healthiest way possible to take on things, right? Otherwise, as you mentioned, you'll be freaking out constantly, like, "Oh, it's been a day, they're not answering. Like what happened?" And then I'm pretty sure that if you let that happen, then you will start questioning yourself, like, "Am I good enough? Should I
Mhm,
change careers? Like, what is
mhm,
go? You know what I mean?" So I get it. It's pretty healthy. That I like that.
mhm. Yeah, and especially just because auditions are there is no standard to which you're being held. So how can you judge yourself according to a standard? Like judgment in and of itself requires a standard. So if the show that's casting, it's based on what image they're looking for. Sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for. Do they have someone who's also a red, strawberry blonde in there? Are you competing? Are you too tall? Are you too short? Are you too this? Are you too that? And you don't know. And you'll never know to a certain extent unless maybe you get a breadcrumb of information, but most of the time you don't. And so, really, there's no point in doing that.
Mhm. And how has your approach to acting changed from when you started to right now?
Mm. I think when I started, I mean, I had no experience. I didn't know anybody in the industry. It was very much just, okay, like I'm going to set my mind to this and try it and see if the door opens. And so I didn't have any tools in my tool belt. And I had acted once in a school play that was kind of not super professional, and so my view of acting was not very developed. My process, I think, was a little bit less organized. I had less tools to use. I didn't have strategies or methods I was using, and almost a freedom to that of just seeing what happened. Now it's a much more processed system. I have my tools. I know how to get myself somewhere emotionally very quickly. I know how to create a character and what my systems are and how I like to engage with that. I obviously try new things. I'm in acting class. So there's a constant influx of new idea, but to a certain extent, as a newer actor, it was like kind of pinning the tail on the donkey blind, right? Or trying to throw a dart and hit the bullseye, but not not being able to get anywhere close. Now it's much more refined, but there's an element of it where it's not quite as maybe free, not as wild west. And I'm glad, but I'm also sometimes I kind of miss that. It was kind of fun.
No, that's pretty cool. I like that. I do think also that it's gonna be chaotic, so just embrace it, have fun if you can, and just keep going at it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Yeah. And I think it's the case for any industry that you
yeah,
get
of course.
into, especially as a freelancer. Like at the beginning, you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes you have really good ideas because it's all a whole new world. Sometimes the ideas are just really, really, really not on target, right? As you become more and more of a professional and you know more about your process and how you function the best and what the systems are that exist out there that people use and have good luck and good success with, like you are getting better, but you're also maybe a little less likely to have some of those wild ideas that are really creative and really off the cuff. And that can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing. So I'm trying to continue to keep some of that like freshness in the picture as I continue to develop as a professional. But it's it's part of the journey is refinement.
And is there like a role or type of character that you feel specially connected to?
I would say two thoughts come to mind. I really connect with characters that are wildly feminine. And by that, I mean they embrace their femininity, but they stay feminine and are also strong. So, an example of this would be like Natiri in Avatar, right? She is a fierce warrior, but she's also very feminine. I think in modern day television, we see this dichotomy kind of get off center when we see a lot of women portrayed as strong but also more masculine as well. And I personally really enjoy seeing examples in television or playing characters that are the dichotomy of both, where they're strong and they're feminine, and there's a truth in that, right? So I really enjoy those characters. I like sci-fi. I like post-apocalyptic film. I love like pirates and Victorian era filmmaking. I love period pieces because there's something about removing modern day context and modern day conversation from the equation that actually allows us to have conversations about truth and about things that are very relevant today. But because you have them set 200 years in the future or 500 years in the past, you can have the conversation and welcome all people to the table. Versus if you were trying to tell a story and have a conversation in the modern day film space and you were talking about something that was polarizing, you would drive people away from the table because of the very nature of that conversation. And so I really enjoy stories that do that, where you can jump into the future, jump into the past, and have a conversation, and everybody's welcomed in and really wants to wrestle with it and think about it. That's to me something that also I really love doing. I love writing it. I love portraying those characters. So that would definitely be the second thought.
That's amazing. What's your
Just a
take?
nerd.
Yeah, I love it. And do you think the acting industry is doing enough of actually presenting good female characters, or there's still this long conversation we haven't reached yet?
Hmm. I think there's a lot of room for growth. I think there are examples where Hollywood has done a good job portraying balanced femininity, but by majority, I think we need a lot more. They're hard to find, I feel personally, and just as a woman, I think looking around and seeing that there aren't a lot of examples of what I'm talking about, it can feel a little bit isolating or a little bit like there isn't a good representation in the media and there isn't a good example for young women growing up, for for children, for teenagers, I definitely noticed that as a teenager, I really related more to male characters in movies and shows just because the females felt detached from reality for me. And so I would really love to portray more characters that are, I guess, more that feel more real and more authentic in that way. And I would love to write some. So yes, room for growth.
Epic. Now, switching to our next activity. Speed round questions, yes, no, or pass, super simple. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions,
Okay.
but you can only answer yes, no, or pass.
Okay.
You ready?
Hmm.
So, have you ever doubted your talent?
No.
Have you ever said yes to something that you knew it wasn't right?
No.
Have you ever compared your journey to someone else's?
Yes.
Have, have you ever felt like quitting everything?
Oh, yes.
Do you think success changes people?
Mm, yes.
Have you ever felt misunderstood in your career?
No.
Do you believe timing matters more than talent?
Yes.
Have you ever taken an opportunity out of fear of losing momentum?
No.
Do you think you're where you're supposed to be right now?
Yes.
Have you ever surprised yourself with what you're capable of?
Yes.
And a bonus one, can you cry on cue?
Yes.
Fantastic.
But only after 2 years of verticals where I was crying like in every show. It was a learned skill. I did not have that skill when I started.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. And returning one more time to our general transmission, tell me, what does making it means to you now
Mm,
compared to when you first started?
mm, that's a great question. So I'm really lucky that at the beginning of my career, I had some mentors that told me to write a definition of what success meant to me before I ever started acting. And so I took some time to do that and really nailed it down and wrote it out. And I'm grateful for it because it's kept me grounded in this industry that it's so easy to lose your ground, to lose your way, to lose your footing, to lose your perspectives on life that you had. And I have had that as kind of a rock solid foundation. It hasn't really changed a whole lot, but I think my perspective on life in general has shifted and changed as I've matured and gotten older. And so thankfully like the definition hasn't changed, but I think the way I perceive it has shifted over the years.
What do you think the 12-year-old version of yourself would think about you right now?
Mm. I think that she would be absolutely shocked. There is no world where I imagine that I would be doing this, that I would be living in Los Angeles, that it would be my full-time job, that I would have actually shot the shot and walked the walk. There are times where I'm like in downtown Hollywood going to a film premiere or being flown out. I was flown out to China last year for a vertical and went all over the country with verticals. And every single time I was like kind of like pinching myself, like, This is my life? What who gets to say that? I mean, that's such I recognize that that is extreme privilege, and I'm super, super grateful that I'm getting to do this. It's beyond my wildest dreams of where I thought I would be. So 12-year-old Juliet, she thought she was gonna be a nurse or a doctor. She thought she was going to be doing like Doctors Without Borders or Mercy Ships or like somewhere traveling the world treating people with medicine. And that would be a pretty awesome dream too. But it's really cool to get to say like I've played a doctor on TV. I've played a nurse. I've traveled internationally for film. Like all of those dreams are actually happening, but they're happening in a way that she would have never expected, but she would be delighted to find out.
And the most amazing thing about this also is the fact that you have done that all by yourself.
Mm. Well, I have been very, very supported by a fantastic group of family and friends and teachers and mentors and coaches and spiritual mentors. So I can't claim to say that I've done it all by myself, but I definitely can say that community means so much, and I don't think that really anybody gets where they are without a community. And the people who do, I really admire them.
And when all of this is said and done, right? Not the work, not the recognition, just you as a person. Tell me, what do you hope your life actually meant?
Well, I'm a person of faith. I'm a follower of Jesus, and so I really hope that at the end of my life I can look back and I can say that I loved other people well, and I loved God well, and in that I left an impact, even if it was small and relational. That I was there for people and I loved people well. That's what I hope.
And you know what? My last question here.
Yes, hit me.
What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that for a second.
Take your time.
Either one day at a time or the 1%.
The
What do you think?
1%. I like the 1%.
You like the 1%?
Sounds
Like
like a,
showing up, getting 1% better every day?
you know,
Something in that space?
it sounds catchy. It sounds interesting. Like if I'm just in the wormhole of YouTube or Apple Podcast, Spotify, and then I just see the 1%, be like, what it's about.
I trust your judgment.
Yeah, I like that. And it sounds like a franchise to me. Who knows?
Mhm. Who knows?
And what can I say? I'm speechless. I love it. I love your career. I love what you do because sure you can create cool stories for us. You can make us cry. You can make us laugh. All type of emotions, which is great. But what I love the most is that you're showing us that dreams can come true. You know,
Mhm.
you're showing us that there's hope to it. That if you are stay persistent to it, that you find something that you're passionate about, you can actually make it happen. And I do think that that type of energy you are giving and the type of message you are showing, it's super important, especially now in this crazy messed up world we're currently living in. The fact that we can have hope, that things can get better if we can stay focused on if we actually pursue something outside that some people could think that it's crazy, that it's stupid, like for all the reasons. But if you actually think you can make it happen. If you stay persistent, you can show results as you are showing us to everybody out there. That's incredible. And I discovered why you're badass. So there you go.
That's very kind. I've been thinking a lot recently about the idea that when we say, like, we put our mind to something, right? Like, what does that really mean if you just dissect that language? And I think we normally assume that means like you think you're going to do something, right? Like you think it, and so therefore you are. But I I have started to wonder a lot more about like the people who I look at and see that they've done something truly admirable with their lives. They didn't they didn't operate off of feeling. They didn't operate on what they thought they were going to do. They made a decision and then they followed through. They made a decision and then they filled in the gap. And they did that consistently over the course of years. And that's where they got where they are. And so there's all this magic in Hollywood of, are you going to make it? Are you going to be an overnight success? Are you going to be discovered? How do you corner the market and position yourself and leverage yourself? And what's your ROI for your invest? I think at the end of the day, it's a really simple equation of finding a target, setting your eyes on it, making the decision that you're going to get there, and then filling in the gap. And I think it can be as simple as that. I don't know yet. I'm still experimenting, but that's been on my mind a lot recently, and I'm finding it to be very helpful.
Yeah. And you're showing it results. So I do think that it's the right path. Because sure, it can get complicated whenever you are sharing it with friends and family, right? And they will be telling you you're crazy, as I was saying, right? That it's not that it's that the typical like, oh, that's a nice hobby, things like that. But if you, as you mentioned, if you have this target and be like, no, this is where I go, this is where I want to, it can actually lead you to something incredible if you actually stay persistent to it and silence all of that noise around, which is it's hard, sure. But I do think that with time you can actually get better at it to silence all of those critiques and things and comments and just be more persistent on your journey, because I do think that's the way it is, right? We all come to this world for something. Well, at least that's what I believe. But you have to discover what is that something. And when you discover that something, now work on it, you know?
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Totally.
pretty amazing. So, I want to thank you so much for making this happen. I do want to thank also those who stayed the whole episode. But by this point, come on. I mean, since question 1, I was like, I already, why Juliet is super badass. So let's follow her. Let's share some love. # Team Juliet. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there. Keep rocking. Keep kicking ass. And I'll definitely be seeing you in the next one.
Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to be here, Dan. Thank you.
All right.